Okay, so let's try to kind of put this all together into a fully working program that uses classes and methods. Okay, and this is kind of just a little toy program. It doesn't do too much interesting, but hopefully it's simple enough that you get the idea of how you kind of start putting all of these things together. So, most programs are going to, from here on out, are going to involve multiple files. Okay, you're going to have files like we see the two files here on the right. Okay, for particular classes that you want to create, or somebody's going to create, that has the functionality, has all the variables and all the methods for whatever you want to do with those types of objects. So in this case, I've created a couple classes, one called basketballplayer.java, or called basketballplayer, and it's in a file called basketballplayer.java. I've created another class here called arena, so this is going to be some, represent a basketball arena. Okay, it's in a file called arena.java, and it's got the name arena. So I could create lots and lots of classes that I want to be able to use in programs. But these classes by themselves, they're not actual programs, just for the most part. Okay, they're just these classes that define what we can do to actually write programs to make objects of these type and use them. So these would each be, again, in completely separate files. So you'd go into, and we'll do this in a minute, you go into JGrasp, you create a brand new Java file called this, and you put some code in there for that class. You go into JGrasp, you create another file called arena.java, and you write all of this code to make all the code for the arena class. Okay, and you save those both as arena.java and basketballplayer.java. And once you've created your classes, now you can write an actual program in some sense, we could call it a program, that actually uses objects of the types of those classes. So that's what this is over here. So this is equivalent to what you've been doing all along without basically ever creating the classes first. So you kind of now create a main program that uses the objects. And so in this case, I'm creating another file called, I'm going to call my program a basketball manager program. So this is where I want to just manage some things related to basketball teams, the players and the arenas and all this kind of stuff. Let's just say we're making this program. Okay, so I'd call this program basketball manager program, or you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't have to have the word program in it. But the main thing is, this is also a class. Okay, just like all along, all of your programs, you've had to write public class in the beginning. So this is also a class. So I call it public class of basketball manager program. But this is kind of a special kind of class. Okay, for the most part, this isn't a class that I'm going to go make objects from. This is just a separate kind of program that's going to use objects of other classes. So this is the class that has the main method in it. Okay, notice that these other two classes over here don't have main methods, right? So in other words, that means these aren't things that I'm actually going to go run as like a program. These are just classes that are going to be used in other programs that have a main method. Okay, or at least that's the way we'll think about it for now. That's kind of a nice simple way to think about it. So the class over here that has the main method in it, that's kind of the special class that again is just kind of the main program you want to run. And inside of that main method, now we can create objects of the class types that are specified in the other files. So you can see here, I'm inside of my main method here, inside of my main program that's actually going to run. And by the way, this program will always, just like every other program we've written, it'll start at the main method. So it'll start right inside of main and start running through that. Okay, you can see that in this main method, I'm creating an object for a basketball player. So in other words, I'm using all the code over here to do that. Okay, so I'm creating basketball player, player one equals new basketball player, and I could do something with that. Now you can see I've got some code here for creating an arena. Arena, I called it TC equals new arena, and I'm setting some things like the capacity of the arena, which is like the seating capacity, the name of the arena, I'm increasing capacity. So I've created an arena object, I'm calling methods on it, and in this program, I could create lots of basketball player objects, lots of arena objects to store all of the data for all the players and arenas that I'm managing in my league, that type of thing. Okay, but the again, kind of big picture to a certain extent. The whole point of this is that this is the program we actually want to do something, and this program uses objects of these other class types over here. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going for, and kind of again trying to put all this together where we're getting into this world of creating multiple files for one program, and one of those files is the main program, and it uses these other files that contain class information for the objects that we're going to create.